branch of the Wayne County Public Library. Fall is coming, and so is one of my favorite fall activities, which is just going out, walking, and picking up acorns and acorn caps to do some crafts. Now, what I would like to show you today is how you can take some of these acorn caps, like the single ones or the doubles, and you can turn them into little ornaments or something to add to a fall wreath. So I've got some we're going to do with bells, and then I also have some little fuzzy pom-pom balls that we can also use to fill in the caps. I've got a wreath already prepared. It's just a styrofoam wreath wrapped with some green burlap ribbon. I've got plenty of the caps. I've got some of the foam balls, a few of the bells. I've got some ribbon. I do have a beading awl or a regular awl and scissors for cutting the ribbon. You might also need pins or something to hold the ornaments into the wreath if you want to. If you think just tying them on is going to work for you, you can do that too. And then I also have a dripping glue gun that's ready to go. So since it's ready to go, let's get started. So as you can see, I have already chosen a pair of joined acorn caps and found these little pom-pom balls that are going to fit in there pretty well. So we'll go ahead and start with those, and I'm going to take the glue gun and just kind of glue around the inside here. And I'll just pop one of these in and then go ahead and do the next. Set those aside, and I'll do another pair since we're already set up for it. All right, so I'm just going to set those aside to go ahead and set up. I'm going to move the glue gun out of the way so that I don't get into trouble later, because that would be bad. And we'll take a moment to look at the bells. Now, the bells that we have to work with came with their own little stretchy cords to them that are nice and thin. So we're just going to use those. And I've tied them onto this little piece of metal on the top of the bell. It's kind of hard to see close up, but there is a little hole you can run a ribbon or this little cording through to tie that knot on. And the reason I'm going to go ahead and do that with this is because if you find an acorn cap that doesn't have the stem on, you can, let's see, where did I put it? You can take your awl and very carefully work it in here and create a hole. Now you want to just set the cap down and very slowly kind of wiggle that awl through so that you've got a hole. It's not going to be big. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can sort of see the size of it there. It's not very big, but with this very thin cord, we can make it work. If you can do that, you don't necessarily have to glue the bell in. If you've got caps that just have your stems, it's going to be harder to do. I tried with this one poking holes on either side of the stem, and I couldn't get them very big without the cap cracking underneath. So just kind of play with it and see what will work for you. What I'm going to do is just feed this cord through the hole here. And it's very stubborn, but we're going to have our patience and just make it work. All right, so there's one end through. And we'll put the other end through. All right, so just pull that all the rest of the way through. I can go ahead and add a little bit of glue just to secure it, so let me do that. All right, that one actually needs the glue right on the rim, I think. Let's try that again. All right, that's hot. Let's set that aside. There we go. That's done the trick, I think. So once that's dried and set up, I'll come back and tie that knot and finish it off. All right, so since these are pretty well set, let's go ahead and cut some ribbon. And you can decide how long you want to make these, how far you want them to dangle off the reed, totally up to you. I'm just going to work this through. And we'll tie a knot down here to secure it. And then we can go ahead and tie it onto the wreath. And I think I'm just going to do a simple knot up here because then I'll pin it into the place where I want it. So then I just have it hanging down, and I can add others at different lengths. I think all right, the bell is going to be very, very small. So I think what I'm going to do is just tie the loop off here. It's going to be a very short loop. And that cord's kind of slippery. So you know what? I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to that as well. All right. We'll let that set and dry. But this one, I think I'm just going to end up pinning on here. You can do these in different lengths. You've got different ones hanging down. If you pin them in place, then you can hide those pins with the other things you want to put on your wreath, like some silk leaves or flowers or whatever you want. Or one thing that I've seen on Pinterest and in other places is instead of a wreath, you've got a nice long piece of wood and then you can dangle these in various lengths from that and hang it up as a wall hanging. Of course, you can always just leave them as is and hang them on your Christmas tree this year. So there are some fun ideas that you can do with the little acorn caps that you pick up along your walks, and just add a little bit of natural goodness to your holiday decor. Hope you give this a chance at home. Would love to see some of the things you might come up with. And in the meantime, I hope you'll stay healthy, be kind, and get creative. Bye-bye.